is Kyle. I am here again today with more Factory Town. So let's get back into it. Click continue. Hopefully load up the correct file. Yes, this looks accurate. Okay, so where we left off yesterday, we are struggling to get red coins. I thought about it some more, and I remembered a good way to get red coins is to sell juice. If I scroll down here, fruit juice, worth 2 red coins each, and 50% of the fruits and vegetables need for your villagers, but also it is relatively inexpensive to build. We just need a kitchen, so if we go over to the school, all we have to do is research metallurgy, and then once we build a forge, we should unlock a kitchen. So this shouldn't take, and that'll take a little while, I guess. It's already cranked even. Okay, well, so that'll take a little bit of time. In the meantime, I would like to kind of clear out this area around the base. There's a lot of resources here that can be consumed by either the town or, I guess, the town. So what I'm going to do is, can I build another food market yet? I cannot, unfortunately. So I will have to pipe anything I want into this location. But I would like to process this wheat, maybe gather these apple trees, and more importantly cut down these trees, because, you know, all these guys over here have been fighting for these shoots, but it would be nice to just, yeah, because these aren't even really running at capacity. It'd be nice to, 1, get planks faster, but 2, actually have space to work. So I'll do that right now while the school is researching. The wheat is really in the way of everything, so it's kind of going to be what we have to do first. Guess I can do a grain mill. Or 2. Just kind of throw them right there. Honestly, I don't have enough surplus worker space to really need 2. Okay, flour. And then, okay, so this is going to be the tricky part, is building this without using up. I don't have a lot of planks. Do it. That's uphill even. It's going to be a little tricky. I guess alternatively what I can do is just no, I can't build a house. Well, let's at least get a few workers started. I'm gonna delete this guy and replace him with a conveyor belt. That's automation, baby. Alright, so now that's doing what it's supposed to do. And let's get a couple of workers. So here's 6 workers. I'll have them fight over the grain mill, but I would like to clear this area out, and to do so in an efficient fashion. Okay. So I am in a little pickle because of how I've laid this out, but to be fair, I didn't intend on having to navigate around this, so I am going to have to navigate around it. Guess what I can do is pipe everything this way, use a conveyor to bring it uphill, and then go from there. So, in order to do that, I will need a crate, which I can't really build where I want to, and that's a problem. Okay, I'll have to build a crate there. Alright, so now that'll fill up. And I'm going to have to use a wagon to kind of transport it, because I can't. Crates do not auto-output their contents, so if I build a conveyor belt there, even though the arrow is pointing in that direction, although you can't really see it right now, it's not going to actually output onto that. So I'll bring it uphill a few tiles. what am I talking about? I don't have inventory to do that. Okay, so I guess I'm literally only going to bring it uphill one tile, but I need a wagon, which of course requires the deletion of an employee. It will merely transfer these uphill by one slot. Alright. So, I'm gonna go ahead and delete these resources even though it kinda sucks. I guess I could harvest them, but like, I don't care that much. It's not at large enough area and I need this done quickly enough, but I don't want to have to pay to delete all of the resources around my current base. Okay. I would like it to be a straight shot, but it looks like I can't. So I'll kind of curve around the herbs. And I'm out of planks. Get to there. And it's mostly just a matter of this. The problem is right now is I'm only outputting wagon wheels because that's what I need the most of. So I'm only getting planks as a result of surplus logs, which are not that plentiful. You guys are still going strong at least. They're doing what they're supposed to do. How's this coming along? We at school. Okay, so we're hitting a bit of a roadblock in that we are not. Our output of paper is slower than our rate of research, so I actually dump down or fire those workers so that I can use them to gather these resources over here, but what I can do then is probably build another lumber mill. And I guess I'll cut off this path, which I think is the fastest route for the wagon, but it's not gonna matter. It's not. The throughput limiter is not the wagon in this case. Okay. So planks, and I can hire 3 people to fill this. Alright, beautiful. And then we'll slowly continue over the lake here. Getting close. I mean, I can make it go into this house, which will only be able to accept a few of them, but will let me sell it right off the bat. Yeah, you can see the house. Houses have inventories, so I can only fill it with or wheat before it becomes an issue, or flour rather, but allows us to at least sell things right now. I have enough cloth that I can begin upgrading these houses, which is probably worth doing. Yeah, my bank is almost full. I think I had upgraded a few of these, but I don't remember. Just have to keep a close eye on the ye ol' economy. Okay, yeah, I upgraded that house. Okay, there we go. So now I can make some more workers, which will be good, but also I can finish that. Now they will be able to just deal with all this grain. Okay. And what I can actually also do then is add to this and collect these apples to get them out of here. And it's not going to go very quickly, but it'll move. Okay. I want to see if I'm wrong about how these chutes work and see if I can do this. It would not be the first time I am wrong. Okay, no, this doesn't count as an end. Guess for now I'll just have the one chute and they'll fight over it until they've cleared out trees. I guess they won't really be fighting about it. I can probably have 3 people on one chute if I need to. Oh, that's going to be a bit of an issue. I need to tell it to pick up everything. So it doesn't matter what it is, because it was only going to pick up flour. So one thing to note about crates is that they can only store one type of item, so that could cause some problems. But we're getting money, things are flowing through. It'll sort itself out eventually. How is this doing? How is my lumber mill doing? I need more people over here. Or rather, I need to make my system more efficient, which is what I'm going to do. So, build a little chute for these guys. Yeah, it's going to complain because it can't actually output items onto here, and because that's where it wants to, it's going to yell at me, but I guess if I rotate it, it won't happen. In fact, I can get rid of this wagon and replace the wagon with a conveyor belt. Okay. Scaffolds. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. Okay, so now you guys will bring them to the chute instead of to... That is not what I want. Instead of all the way to the building. And I guess I'll place a couple more people. Probably oversaturating this, and they're gonna kind of struggle to all fit, but I think that will allow me to hopefully gather resources at the rate that they will be consumed. And it's better than it was, at least. Metallurgy is getting close to done. These guys are chewing through this pretty quickly, but it is at the building's capacity, so if I want to go harder on that, I'll need to redesign the line, but I don't really have the resources to do that right now, so we'll ignore it. So grapes. Not grapes, berries. Berries are what I'm going to want to farm to create my juice. So I will need to gather some and put them in a shared inventory so that I can use them to plant, because these right here, plant berries, requires 2 berries, 10 gold, and it has to be built on a farm tile, which is why we needed the manure, which we have a surplus of at this point. But, so we'll use that to make the farm tiles, but then we actually have to have some berries in our shared inventory. I will throw down a barn right here, grab a couple more workers. Don't really need a lot, and the purpose for this will not be to clear out this area. I just need to fill this barn so that I can freely build what I need to build, and then honestly I can just pipe all of it out of here afterwards. Even, yeah, whatever. Okay, so, because as much as consuming things makes them disappear, right now our biggest issue is going to be as we move towards renewable resources. There we go. Our biggest hurdle is going to be space, and I would rather use the resource than pay money to destroy it. Okay, so there are still some things I can research with the red coin, so I'll keep this going just so I'm not kind of wasting opportunity, but I would like to research all of these red things first, and then we'll move on to blue coin stuff later. I have actually not unlocked machinery yet, so it'll be new for me, and it'll be exciting moving forward. But with metallurgy complete, we can now begin collecting iron and processing it. So here's a little area over here that has iron deposits and coal deposits. Based on the quantities of the resources which you can see up in the top right, I am under the impression that these are non-renewable. I don't know for certain because I haven't gotten that far, but if you look at all of your resources that are renewable, even stone, which I know is renewable because you can see it here in the farming menu. Oh, never mind, all this shit looks like it's gonna be renewable. Okay, never mind. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is disregard what I just said, and I will build a forge. Throw it right here. Unlock silos, which are pretty nice, and we will begin making some iron. I am confused now because I thought I would be able to build a kitchen, but I need base level 4. Okay, so I am getting ahead of myself, and I need to actually be able to upgrade my base, which requires leather. So I am going to... I'm producing way more cloth than I need, so I can pretty reasonably make this shitty. Or what I can just do is this, and then this will run faster, or I'll make it run faster, and then we'll be able to support 2 buildings, even though it is kind of not the best way to go about things. So leather, and I want this to actually feed here as well. Wonder if it's going to split in priority. Okay, no. So now what we can do actually is move and start using some of these logistics blocks. So right here's a splitter. If I place this here, theoretically it should... Alright, yep, it'll change the direction to try to evenly distribute these items based on available paths. So now we can make sure both of these buildings are actually having good supply to them. How is grain mill? Okay, I am going to change this because this is wildly inefficient. Alright, there we go. Okay, so we're going to set this to leather, which it is already at, upgrade it to what I can upgrade it to, and it needs water. It is too far away from a source of water, so I will need to build a well. And you can really easily just build a well, build a conveyor belt, and it's not going to work. Okay, now we can use this grabber. The grabber will pull water from the well, put it in my pasture, and we're all good to go at this point. So, let me build a conveyor belt, and the one for manure will feed this way, and then I will make a second conveyor belt that goes that way, and use a sorter to force leather to go this direction. And I will build a barn and begin to put it in the barn. Okay, is that where it needs to be, or is that one level too high? Alright, that's good. Okay, so if we watch this now, leather should go this way, and of course it can't go into the barn because that's the output slot. There we go. And then fertilizer will go here, although it will back up, so I'm realizing that is a concern. So what I will want to do instead is make these assembly lines independent, which means I'll want to rotate that so it is not utilizing the output, and then what I can do is I can use 2 different grabbers. One grabber will grab the leather, and then the other grabber will grab the manure or fertilizer, which of course we're not really utilizing right now, so that's why it's kind of piling up. But now we're going to get some leather. In a little bit I'll be able to upgrade my base, and then everything will be all good. This area is getting crowded, and this area is very messy, but I do plan on destroying this once we kind of get the ball rolling, and then better utilizing the space later down the line. Okay, so we got the green arrow, which means our base is ready to be upgraded, and now we have unlocked new houses, kitchen, and an apothecary. Apothecaries are where you make medicine. I actually have not made medicine before, so that's something new as well, but I'm assuming it's just another crafting station. Okay, so how's this going? Boat building's taking a while, but now with a kitchen, I am losing my train of thought. Okay, so one thing we can do is this assembly line. Put a kitchen on it, and we can turn flour into bread, which is worth more gold and satisfies more needs. One thing to note is that this requires both an assembly line, but more importantly fuel. So how do I want to go about this? You can get fuel from a number of sources. If I mouse over this, you can see the options. Fertilizer, wood, coal, and magma all provide fuel. So that would be one of these reasons to collect all of this manure over here, so that I can put it into, in this case, a bakery, and make bread using shit. But it is way out over there, so I'm realizing I have done things poorly, and I want to scrap this, but won't for the time being. Okay. To be responsible and utilize the things that I've built, what I am going to do now is build a small farm. By first building a grain mill and setting it to make flour. Not flour. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to build a pasture, and the pasture will shit out shit, utilizing water and grain. So I'll need to build grain, which will feed here. I'm leaving a spot here for a well. And I'll build that real quick while I'm thinking about it so I don't forget. And then a farm. Of course, a farm needs wheat to actually grow in order for it to, collect wheat and push it forward. So what I'm going to do to accomplish this goal is now utilize what we can do now and build these little farm tiles. So they can only be built on flat ground, and I'm going to kind of just throw a few of them down here wherever I can, because both of these farmers will be able to utilize some of them. Not all of them, because they only have a 4-tile reach, but I can see that this field right here is hitting a point where it's kind of running fallow. So plant grain. I can't plant grain because I don't have a stockpile of it. Neat. Alright boys, I got a different plan. I'm gonna build a barn right here, and you guys are going to put the grain in the barn. Then I will move it from there when I decide I want to, utilizing a beautiful conveyor and a grabber, which I will not toggle on. That's another thing, is you can toggle whether or not various logistics blocks are active. So because this one is off, it's not pulling anything, but if I turn it on, it'll start to pull wheat out, and voila. But with that full, then I will actually be able to plant crops. Okay, so grab the grain, throw it down. It'll take a little bit of time to grow. Okay, I am out of wheat, but that'll solve itself soon enough. Okay, 2 more tiles. Farms, just like with wild crops, will automatically regrow things on farm tiles, but one thing to note, if a farm is supplied with water or fertilizer, it will apply it to neighboring tiles. But as I mentioned last stream, this will actually slow down your overall production. But the benefit of it is that you can grow things more quickly, so you can use a farm on a smaller space of land and still accomplish what you've set out to accomplish. In this case, I'll get this set up with animal feed. And then last but not least, I will need a conveyor belt piping out the shit. And I'll upgrade this, even though it's kind of a waste right now, just because I need to make sure that this is running as quickly as it can, at least right now. And now we will begin to actually produce bread, and you can see if I go over here, bread is worth 12. So I'm turning a much higher profit on, actually it's not even that much higher of a profit, it's really only a 1 coin profit per flour, but makes townsfolk happier. And that's the end goal, I suppose. And hopefully these will start to not be so backed up. Don't feel like that's happening right now, but hey, I built a thing and it's kind of neat. Okay, so I can build some more houses, which I should probably do. And upgrade them to the as far as I can right now. And now we have just dramatically increased our available workforce. Okay, so these guys are gonna keep doing what they're doing. The forge. I needed to get that set up, and I don't think I did. Where was I going to set that up? I was going to set that up here. Okay, so the forge. What I'm going to do now is just build a a barn. Actually, let me show off silos because they're pretty cool. So what I can do using a silo. Silos are like crates but substantially better. So they are as tall as a building, so you can pull things from a much higher height, whereas like what the crates you could only pull it from one higher tile. But they do also auto output. So what are you yelling out? Because it's producing a finished good. Whoops. If once this starts producing things, just like a regular building, the silo will begin to spit out its resources. But what this means then is that they also hold 100 items, I should mention. You can kind of artificially increase your storage, even though it won't all be shared storage, by feeding silos into a barn ahead of time. And then as a result, here you'll have I'll effectively have 400 more inventory for iron, plus the 200 that's in here. What I'll want to do, though, to make sure things run smoothly is throw a splitter block right here, so that it will distribute it between all three of these. And these might fight over things a little bit, but it should be okay. Anyway, let's get some workers started. So I'll probably only need one worker gathering coal, because coal is worth a reasonable amount, and then have the rest of them gathering iron. Sorry, when I say coal is worth a reasonable amount, it takes, if I check the recipe down here, 2 iron ore and 2 fuel, but 1 coal is worth 4 fuel, so I guess to keep ratios proportionate, I should have 2 people gathering coal. And then 4 people gathering iron, and then I think I'm doing my math right, or have I just made this even worse? Pretty sure I made this even worse. Alright, you get iron because I want you to get iron. And then as this starts to output, we should see well, it's all just kind of warping over here before we can really watch it go down these belts, but honestly that's better than it not doing that. So now we've got some iron, which we'll need to build various buildings, as well as upgrade things. Those are words. I'm trying to remember what I need. Oh yeah, duh. In order to make tree planters, you need iron. So this is going to be another big step in building my forestry stuff, is that you actually have to have iron to make them worthwhile. What's going on? Oh yeah, I forgot that I turned this off. Okay, so now that we have wheat and I solved that problem, we'll turn this back on so my people can keep doing their job. And we'll make a little bit more money as a result. What I can actually do now, though, is replace this wagon after it pulls the last item out. Although now it's holding it, so it doesn't really do me any good. But I can replace this whole setup with a silo. I believe I have more things like this around the area, but it's whatever. So what I can actually do then is make this a nice little ramp. You will have to use the grabber if you're pulling from a height that is higher than the base of the building. But it should still get the job done. As far as inventory restrictions, it's still the same as the wagon, or as the, not wagon, as the crate is, it can only hold one type of item at a time, but it's transferring it the instant it enters it, so it's not going to be an issue right now. I know I had a wagon transferring shit somewhere. Question was where? How are we doing on this? Okay, we're starting to accumulate cloth conveyor belts. We've got a reasonable amount right now. And let's not have that line anymore. I'm not seeing where I had a wagon transferring things. Okay, how's this doing? Boat building's getting close to done, which is good. But, okay, so this will be running fuel. It's all outpacing the machine right now, which is whatever. But what we want to do now is work towards making the juice factory. So what I'm actually going to do is completely tear down this, I think. Trying to decide. I've made a terrible decision on where I've placed this, so I might actually uproot my whole line and place it somewhere else. There's coal everywhere. What was I thinking? I guess I'll put it on this side because this is the most accessible area. It's like, good lord. So, I can kind of destroy what I've got going on right now because we're going to move towards like fully automatic systems, starting with the red coins. Because a lot of what I want to do as far as making money is concerned is going to require me to have red coins. I'll leave this set up for now and I'll just kind of let it feed out. So I'll delete that last because we'll move down or start from the top and move down the assembly line from there. Need to make sure that my stuff is still sort of accessible so that these guys can keep clearing. But what I'm going to need to do now then is actually delete some stuff. Or delete this farm that I just built. You can actually delete crops on farm tiles, which you cannot do, as you can hear me pressing the delete key. You cannot do that with wild crops, and that's where the whole remove resource thing comes in. And we're at a point now where I could reasonably pay to destroy resources, but I'd rather just build in an open area. So my poor planning is unfortunately going to make further development a little more difficult, in that I'm going to require the use of a lot of planks because all of my lines will be feeding over water, so they'll need planks. I guess I could fill in the water if I really cared, but we'll see. Okay, so now I can tear down all this stuff, and I'll get refunded some of my planks, which is good. Well, I mean, I'll get refunded all of them for everything that I tear down at least. Trash that, delete this. Okay, I guess I'll delete this too since I won't be feeding into it anymore. This little area is hilarious, but doesn't actually really work. Okay, so delete this. Build over here. Okay. Food market. I can actually build two now, which is worth noting. I need to actually place the ground here. Use some nice stone bricks because they look nice. Food market, mineral store, and I'll want to turn this line so it actually feeds into the food market, the place it's supposed to go. Alright, so that'll work now. We are currently not producing any red coins. Hey, my base can be upgraded again. Neat. Unlocked more stuff. Cool. Okay. I will throw this here. Okay. More houses means more workers, which means life is continuing to go uphill. So, throw down all this. Okay, these are all upgraded. Just finished with boats. How long is it gonna take to research medicine? Probably a little while. But this is like my prime real estate to build my farm. So I need this to get done. So I will hire some more workers to make it happen. Now I can expand the chute to be a little wider now that they've chopped down enough wood. Okay, there we go. That guy's getting upset because I broke his pathfinding by building in front of him. Okay. So this should be all good now. What I can actually do to reduce the... If I use a silo, it should make life a little bit better because items won't be crashing into each other as much. They'll be able to feed into here. Yeah, we're already seeing a lot more improvement on production rate. So I've reduce the bottleneck by streamlining it so that these guys aren't fighting over it as much, and I think we're running on all cylinders. Alright, there we go. In the meantime, I guess, what do I want to focus on? So this is full. This is just going to keep going for now. But this is like where I need to build my farm. What I should do now that I have enough planks running is change the direction of this so it goes over the water so it's not in the way of my new farm. So we'll delete all of this. Okay. What I can do, now that I think about it, is probably gather all these herbs and funnel them into barns over in this direction so that they are out of my way. Okay. I need that there. Okay, and that's not actually feeding because it's the wrong direction. I'm going to do what I just did on the other area right here and use a silo to kind of direct traffic. And the benefit of a silo is that I can also make it go downhill faster. Okay. That there. Get a silo or two. Bam. Bam. Now make it go downhill. And that will, again, increase throughput, since items like to crash into each other at corners. But if they automatically teleport to a higher height and then continue downhill at a faster speed, we should run into that less. Throw a grabber there. Beautiful. Look at how fast those apples are going. Holy shit. Those are some beautiful apples right there. The town rejoices with newly supplied apples. Actually, what I can do now, because I have designed the system to be closer to this area now, what I should do is actually build my kitchen again and utilize a filter to change the direction of wheat. So, I can actually build it in the middle of the pond, but whatever. Come on. Okay. And grab a kitchen. Kitchen has water, which is used in some recipes, I think, or no. It's not. Bread. Okay, so what I can do now is put a little chute there. Currently everything's going to ignore it because the AI tells it to just continue straight down the path, but putting a sorter there, I can say, I can break everything because it's not selected yet, but I can turn it to flour, and now flour will automatically be injected into the kitchen. What I need to do is build a little shit conveyor to take the poop from here and bring it to my kitchen. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna use a wagon because I want to. No, I want to build a wagon. Let me build a wagon. Actually, can the wagon even grab from there? Alright, it can. That's fine. Okay. So, now we're actually doing something with the manure that is being produced from here. Can upgrade this pasture. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. And can upgrade this one as well, but I'm pretty sure it's not all full yet, but it's getting there. Okay. So now we have 6 bread. I have to manually bring the bread to here because it cannot go on a chute. Again, this will be another assembly line that gets deleted at some point, but we should be good for now. Do I still have people gathering stone? I do. Alright, bro, you don't need to do that no more. And these guys are bringing stone bricks in, which I do still need, so it's all good. And conveyors. There we go. So that'll keep spitting stuff out. Oh yeah, this isn't gonna work now that I think about it because I have to utilize all of the wool. So let's do this. I didn't need to build that much scaffolding, but it'll work. Okay, so now, that way they're not blocking anything. That is not what I wanted. Still not what I wanted. Excuse me? There we go. Ooh, okay, I guess I am not grabbing the road and I am instead grabbing the scaffolding. Okay, you will take it from there. Get it at the source. Okay, so now we should have fuel. That should be a non-issue. We'll have as much bread. My guys are done harvesting all of those apples, so I'll delete this and I will put them on plank control. And I guess because I don't plan on making this efficient, I'll just tell them to chop these trees down and run to the already existing lumber mill. What I can probably do... I don't know why I didn't think about this before. There's no reason that this guy needs to go all the way down. I can have him go from here to... oops, to the base, and then that frees up this area to build. Okay, so now I can build a second lumber mill. Bro, you need to GTFO. Bro, you also need to GTFO. Alright, I'm deleting all y'all. Okay. Alright. Planks. Assembly line. I don't think we're gonna run into an issue where they'll be fighting over space, but if that happens, I'll deal with it then. Okay, how many workers? I have 3. I'll have 5, and they'll work on this. And I will make 5 more, and have them go to the other one. And then eventually all of this will get chopped down, and life will be hunky-dory. Okay, so I now have this this chute that's not doing a whole lot. Is there anything else I can do? I can harvest this cotton, though I need to be careful. Okay, I do have more cotton over here. When it comes time to build my conveyor belt assembly line, I want to do that using cotton, because cotton is more reliable than wool, requires less input, can be built on a smaller platform, and as a result, if I'm making an assembly line that's only focused on building conveyor belts, then I don't have to kind of worry about balancing all that. Just a lone apple tree right here. What are these guys doing? They're just taking over everything. I guess I can make more of them now. And just go ham with all of the workers since I've got space. Okay. You go to a chute. You go to a chute. You go to a chute, and eventually we'll have cleared out all these trees, and then the only trees that will actually exist are the trees that I want them to exist. Okay, no one's putting in the barn. I was scared for a second when I moused over the barn and the game pathfinded to it. Like, no, don't put wood in there. Okay, so now we just got a terrible little mess of people. A beautiful little mess of people. What's going on here? So this is almost full of iron, which is pretty good. What else do I want to destroy? Oh yeah, I needed to destroy these herbs. Okay. So, about how many do I have? A couple hundred, it looks like. I guess I will probably need to build, like, the little silo system that I had going on there. Guess I'll build it right here, and then silos. 4 should definitely be enough. I don't think I have that much. It'd be kind of neat if the buildings could just feed straight into the barn, but I understand why they don't. It'd just be nice if I could, like, build... Oh shit, I'm out of red coins. Oops. Okay. Okay, well, herbs can use shoots, so it'll be fine. I'll just build an unholy abomination right here. Beautiful. Okay. Now, I need to build a little staircase. Okay, so now we definitely, oh my goodness, we definitely need to get the juice factory up and going, because we are out of red coins completely. In fact, it's probably going to put a bit of a damper on things, because the more I think about it, the more I probably need some form of logistics to actually get this to work, in case in fact I know I do, because I want grabbers. So, oh, what is this uneven terrain bullshit? Alright, grab a couple workers, have them get started on the herbs. And then they'll continue on this, they'll move to the other patch once they're finished, and then when they're completely done, we'll get rid of them and we'll just kind of have this here. So I'm going to want to actually get this assembly line back up and running, and honestly make it not suck. So I can kind of take what I had done before and use silos as kind of like mitigators, I guess, of congestion to some extent. I mean, they're not going to solve the problem, but they'll help a little bit. Crap, I did my math wrong. Okay. Build some straight pieces. And grab some silos. These are nice even just by virtue of the fact that they increase the capacity of the system, so if there are times where workers aren't able to gather enough resources quickly enough, they'll just keep running for a bit. This is probably more people than I need to have doing this, but I'm enjoying the little mess of nerds running around. Like, I don't like these little NPC guys because they're not reliable, but it's fun to watch them. I mean, these guys are part of the charm of the game. I wish their eyes weren't so weird, but look at them go. They're so derpy. Okay. And actually, I can have 2 separate lines if I would want, which I probably would want. Thereby allowing me to, again, increase the throughput of the system. I do this, I'm gonna have to do that here, because I don't have any red coins to build grabbers. So I have to utilize all of the existing features. I messed up there. In fact, I really messed up there. It's like completely broken. Neat. Neat, alright. Oh, that's why they're not feeding into it. Okay. Can I lower the ground? Probably not. What can I do to solve this problem? I need to get this uphill without being able to really build anything. Troublesome indeed. Can't build it there. I can build it here, but it doesn't solve my hill problem. Okay, I'll figure that out later. Instead, I'm just gonna break the existing system. Alright, cool. So now we need to build stonemasons again. I guess I can't really build them on the water because I don't have space for that. How's this doing? Okay, it says fuel. It's just these guys are taking a long time to get grain because they gotta go further and further to do it. Guess I'll get a few more of them because I only have a handful. And eventually they're gonna start running to that resource, I think. I'm not exactly sure if the AI will take them that far or if they'll say, "Job's done, boss. What do you want us to do next?" Don't bring it to that guy. Okay, so these guys are all blocked up as well. Oh yeah, because I'm out of money, so I can't research. Okay. Stonemason. Want to build a couple of them. They will just use assembly lines to feed their resources out. 2 of them should be fine. If it's not fine, the way that this system will be designed, it will be scalable. There we go. It's like, what happened to my controls, game? What's happening? Okay. So now I'm actually shooting stuff out. Come on. There we go. So now we should start seeing things being built. I will want to use a conveyor belt to get items out of here and feed them into the base. How are we doing? How's this doing? Of course, this is going to run into problems, but I can speed this system up shortly once I get enough red coins to be able to, can I, like, pause this? Can. Alright, by deselecting research I can pause that, or I guess I could also keep the research enabled but remove the worker. So now we'll actually sell these, and once I get 20 red coins I'll be able to speed up this system. Honestly, I feel like that's what I should try and figure out how to do here. Build a bunch of silos that just kind of speed everything down at high velocities. So how do I want to do that? It's going to take more red coins than what I currently have, but okay, we can do this one now. You don't need to make it 2 blocks tall, but I feel like it goes faster when you do that. That might just be a placebo. Okay, so that's going faster. Interesting, I did not know this. They maintain their velocity around the corner by doing this, so conveniently enough that does solve one of our problems. Okay, that's actually a cool discovery, I like that. Now how do I convert these? Well, this is not even outputting at this point. There we go. What I might need to do is scoot everything over by 1. Okay, it looks like they will lose their velocity if they bump into each other. I'm pretty sure that just threw all that stone into my base, but oh well. Okay, I do have enough coins that I can build a couple of, words, they're hard, grabbers. So what we'll want to do now is, and we're still going to run into that problem a little bit with the whole assembly line thing. What I might be able to do is use conveyors, and hopefully that won't have too negative of an impact on my overall, like, production speed, because I do know that conveyors kind of, I mean, they're not as fast. They do negatively impact the rate that things flow through them. They're not as fast as chutes. I even did, okay, yeah, I need that. But then what I can do is build a nice little line here to do everything that I need. And I can also build a silo at the end here. And then it will shoot quickly down this ramp. Beautiful. 2, 3. Place some ramps. Get more chutes. And last but not least, grab some grabbers. My whole assembly line is backed up. think, is probably has something to do with the amount of what is it? What am I running? What's my issue? Okay, so this is full, this is full. Okay, so all of it's full. My main issue is that I no longer need to build assembly lines. How many do I have in my base from just deleting things? 0. Okay. How do I want to go about this? Do I want to build another barn right now? The assembly lines do have to be in a barn, or else you won't actually use them when you place them. Is good enough? I think it is, and then as I build, the game will automatically start to fabricate some more, but I think 2 inches should be good enough for now, and then eventually I'll actually build an assembly line. So I'll leave this rig set up until I'm ready to destroy it, but I guess because this is going... what the... oh. Because this is going now, I could actually reasonably go and turn the research back on. And then once that's done, we're gonna run into issues with red coins right now, but it'll be fine. How's this doing? Actually almost filled up all of my silos. I did not think that there was this much here. I should have counted it more. Okay. How do I want to go about this? I do want to gather all of this, so I think what I'm going to do is just build a second barn right here and feed out of this barn into silos. And be a little cheeky about it. It's gonna look atrocious, but eventually I'll be able to do stuff with this. Neat. Okay. So this is doing all fine. We finished our research. Without any of these other currencies, I can't begin to research this other stuff. What do I want to do with these guys then? It's 100 wood in here. I guess I'll turn this way. I'm gonna delete this school for now, and change my recipe to planks. And then I will need to, I'm gonna channel, or put my planks back in my base, I guess. And I need to get them there. That's trouble. I guess I can also use this as an artificial reason to build a large conveyor, since that will allow me to utilize the resources that this system is outputting. Okay. I want to build this line. I guess I'll go over top, like I did with this. And what you can actually do, so I won't worry about it right now, but I need to go up a couple of blocks. I can use the silos to jump over the buildings without having to kind of have as much of a run up, which isn't going to be necessary because, like, yeah, it might not even, it's not even going to be necessary. Mostly because I'm not building a beautiful, what is it? My scaffold is very ugly. Is that level? I think it's level. I guess what I can do is I can use the silos to move downhill quickly, because I will need to do that. So that sounds like a fun plan. Did I just build a random silo or a platform? It doesn't look like it. They're not level. They're not level! Crisis! Alright. Grab some more of these bad boys. And boom. Now we should start seeing some output again, which is beneficial. My guys are upset. What are they upset about? They're all out of wool. Wool? They're all out of wheat. So I'll tell them to make the arduous trek over to here and continue working. Because I don't need the wheat for the money, I need the wheat because I don't want it there. Alright, here come all the planks. So now what we need to do is build a silo. Might actually be even taller than I need. Build a silo right here, and I think they'll be able to feed into it from there, but it might need to be one higher, we'll find out. Okay, nope, we're all good. Then build another conveyor belt to feed out from there, another silo on the ground, and voila. And then just build a conveyor belt into the base, and now we have planks, even more planks. I'm okay with planks piling up in my main base. At some point down the line, it's probably worth building an outsourced area, but you need planks to build scaffolding, and I plan on building a lot of scaffolding, so it's worth filling up some of these slots with planks. It just, when I go overboard, I might not notice it until it's too late. Alright, so that's doing its thing. I mean, to be fair, I'll delete this pretty soon once these guys are done with this. And these guys are almost done here, which is good. And then I'll actually begin building the juice farm. Excuse me? Oh, it's gonna pipe out all of the water and paper now because it's done doing what it needs to do. Alright, I'll delete you guys. Once this is done feeding out, I can delete that. How do I want to handle this? Because this is kind of taking up prime real estate, and I don't really want to take up prime real estate with a temporary line. Although I guess I can just make my juice feed over top of it, that'll be fine, I'll do that. Okay, so why is this backed up? Oh, this is backed up because, different item types. But it'll solve itself in due time. Alright, so that's done. I can delete this. The lumber mill is still outputting, so it'll be done soon. I don't really need to let it output everything, but I guess I will. Let's wildly overkill this to get it done. Eventually I'll actually click on the bush. Okay, so that's full. Oh, that makes sense. Oh my good lord. All this stuff... Okay, no, it's not all full. So we should be okay with what we have left. So what do we have here? 200, 400, 800, 1100 herbs here, so I'll be able to go from there pretty quickly. I did research medicine, didn't I? I'm not an idiot, right? Like, what can I do with herbs, I guess? Do they tell me what I can do with them? No. Medicine, medicine, medicine. I think in the workshop, I can make a poultice using a bandage and and 2 herbs, which doesn't count as medicine, but does count as a bandage, which is a good thing. And it's worth a lot of red coins, so it might be worth doing that to kind of consume the resources we have here. So I will make a small... I mean, I've got natural wheat right here, so I guess I'll use that to build a little farm next to, and then get wool, even though I was saying I want to use cotton. Just like 1 block over. I guess I'll delete that tree. My guys are all out of work. Delete, delete. I'll delete you even though you're carrying something because you're dumb. Alright. So now we can delete this infrastructure, but I gotta be careful not to delete the silos. because they have lots of goodies in them. I guess now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure... No, I don't sell the bandages there, so I must need an apothecary to build, or to sell bandages. I have that unlocked. Looks... It's not in the locked section. Did I scroll past it? Oh, duh. Apothecary right there. Okay. So build some base for this. Now that I think about it, it's probably a better idea to leave at least a little bit of gap on these so you can actually squeeze in other assembly lines and actually utilize all of the sides of the building. So I am going to preemptively do that, because I feel like I will have a bad time if I don't. Okay, so what does an apothecary sell? Alright, an apothecary does sell bandages. I don't know why I didn't think it would, but... Okay, bandages. So, now I want to build a farm. Actually, don't know why I deleted. Okay. A little dumb, but whatever. And I've like totally messed this up. Okay. That's fine. Okay. I'll still build my pasture there because, you know, I made my bed and now I gotta lie in it. Wool, 6 seconds. I'm going to upgrade this. And honestly, just crank it out. What are you complaining about? Ah, berries. Don't want the berries. No berries. And sure. Actually, I don't need to do that. I really fucked this up. Okay. I'm getting way ahead of myself, all because I wanted to not have water. Select recipe, no berries. Need a grain mill. Grain mill. Now I actually need my pasture. I'm just gonna daisy chain all these things like this, and I'll need a well for the pasture. And a grabber for the well. I'll do that. All of these will feed out on their own. Into here, animal feed, set you to wool. Okay, so this should start working. So let's see, 2 seconds to make animal feed, which means I need to crank this. Yeah, you can really crank farms, by the way. Same thing with pastures as well. Well, I mean, you can't crank them with as many workers, but you can give them, by upgrading them and adding workers, you get to that point. Okay, so now I'm making wool. Now I need a workshop. I think I need a couple of workshops, I think. No, I'll need 2 workshops, I guess. Okay, so that there. Okay, so these both feed in the area to the areas I need them to. Make another workshop right here. And tell this to make bandages. Not bandages, poultice. How am I doing on this? I'm an idiot. But we already knew this. Okay. I need to make cloth, and then I need to make wool. Or bandages. I am getting ahead of myself. Bandage. Or cloth. Oh, that's the wrong recipe. I mean, again, this isn't a permanent assembly line, so it doesn't need to be amazing, blah 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 blah, whatever. I'm gonna have to use a grabber. Okay. Now we should be all set. I think that'll work without a grabber. I guess we'll find out. Then, over here, we'll have to go over the existing assembly lines. Oops. Hello again, Solo. I see you in chat. Today I'm building, well, I want to build juice farms, but I'm getting distracted with things that aren't that important. Okay, it's gonna yell at me because it wants to go downhill. Guess I'll keep it on flat ground for as long as I can, and then I'll not go up till I have to. Go. I see a bunch of idle hands that need to be tended to. Okay, now I'll start getting some red coins from this as well, and it'll allow us to use all these herbs that we collected from this region. Okay, these guys have consumed all of the stone. So what I'm going to want to do now is build another stone assembly line over in this area and have them keep working. But by keep working, I mean delete all of them first. Okay. Alright, so there's not a lot of space to work here. One thing I haven't really mentioned is you can buy land in this game, so I'm going to buy this plot of land and see how much stone is on the other side. There's some. You might also notice right here there is gold ore, which I'm sure will come in handy at some point, but we can't currently utilize. A lot of stuff here. Okay, well. This plot of stone turns out not to be as accessible as I would like. So then the decision is, do I want to work with it or no? I think I will, but from this side. So I'm going to have to kind of engineer a line so it doesn't get in everyone's way. Which basically just means put it in the air. What are you upset about? What was your previous task? Were you gathering wheat and now your wheat is too far away? That's probably what was happening. Okay. Let's just build another line real quick to continue working here. Oh gosh, I forgot that the wagons block it. And at this point, I might as well just turn this into a conveyor belt. I don't need to have those wagons there. Okay. So I'm going to build of this line. And this will be where all of these stone feeds in. Is that too high? No, that should be correct. What are you upset about? Someone take your wheat. I don't even know what's happening. Okay, now I can go this way, and we'll want to use silos to get it up to this height. And obviously to rotate it at every corner, since it will dramatically speed up. That's it. So kind of work backwards so the line is built as efficiently as it can be. And with as few turns as possible. I think this will work. And kind of have the chute like here. Okay. Go out to this spot. Okay. I'm realizing how many planks I actually have in my possession now that I am destroying things and rebuilding them. Turns out to be a lot. Okay, so this is a good spot, I think, to build the line. So what I'm actually going to do now is my usual little chute entry point. I have to get a little creative. I think I can build one of these flat without it being a problem. this correctly? Am I? Well, how do I need to? Let me look at my model, which seems to be falling apart. It looks like it's just all full, and that's the main issue. It's not even... Yeah, it does need to have multiple lines, because it's not even like... So what you can actually do, and I don't know if this is really going to help things, but I can do that. I didn't know that that would actually work like that, but this should keep things moving a bit more freely. I don't know how much it's going to help. Why is this not accepting items now? Excuse me? Okay, that was odd. Unless it didn't like me rotating it? I don't understand what happened there. But that'll hopefully help relieve congestion a little bit. I mean, clearly it isn't, but... How do I want to change this? Do I care enough to change this? I feel like the answer is no, so I'm not going to. Why aren't... You'll have a lot easier time selling your goods if you bring them to the correct location. Okay. Yeah. Oh, what kind of building do I need to bring bandages and this stuff to? Oh, an apothecary, right? Okay, yep, sounds good. I'm gonna bring it to the general store. Okay, what happened to those items? They are in here. What do I want to do about that? How do I want to go about fixing that? Is there any way I can easily fix that? I feel like the answer is no. So what is your problem? You need bandages. You need cloth. You need wool. You are broken because I made you broken. You need more control. Okay. And for now, we'll just waste the fertilizer because I don't care. Okay, so now this will actually be working. We'll be able to use these herbs. We'll make a nice chunk of change and hopefully get assembly lines working in the meantime. I mean, if I really cared, I could go around this mountain to make this a little more efficient, which honestly, at this point, I might as well. But when you press... Oh, when you... Okay, I didn't know that you could do this. When you hold F, you can see the whole... Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Hope I messed that up. Alright, I am probably going to want to pause it while I work on this, because it's going to be a little wonky. Also, I can make some stone. Okay, so do I need to do this to get... Where is my ground and is it flat? That part isn't. But otherwise it should be from there to there, or wherever I would need to turn. I'm gonna like slalom through this wheat, I guess. Just delete the wheat. I mean, I kind of think it'd be funny to not delete the wheat, so I guess I'm not going to delete the wheat. On level field, I believe so, but we will find out. It'll work. Okay. So then there to here to here to here. That rotate from there. I guess we won't do that. We need to make this a little bit farther uphill so I don't hit these trees. Okay. Let's do this. So I think I don't need to worry about it making my chutes line up with these guys, or like be up in the air with these guys, because they should just kind of go straight through. Okay. This one I guess I will put up in the air just in case, since speed is an issue. Now we're just kind of having fun with it. Like this is really pointless, but it's fun. Okay, so now we have 2 assembly lines, which will hopefully keep things less backed up. Because now, it's going straight through here, going into here, whereas it's actually still outputting on there. We should be running on both cylinders now, filling up both of these, producing stone as quickly as possible. You can actually see how much they've tore out of here based on where there isn't a path, so I'm going to fill this in. And we can continue to track their progress as life goes on. And now we'll go back to this area over here, where we will continue to have similar issues. I'm going to need to lower this ground, because otherwise I'm going to hit... It's easier to lower the ground than it's going to be to not lower the ground. Of course, now this is in the way. Delete that. Build, tools, flatten down. There you go. Get a silo. That's the wrong. Don't want to do that. Do that. Now I want some grabbers. Build the little chute line. And this should successfully transfer stone from this area to my actual... No, don't want to do that. There we go. To my actual masons. We will continue to build a stockpile, because stone is something you do use a lot of as well, and I'm actually not sitting very well with it. I only have 270 stone bricks, so it's kind of scary. These guys are slowly picking away at all the grain. My trees are almost chopped down, which seems like it would be a bad thing, but in this case it's what I want. And life is looking good. I'm actually selling my poultices now. Let's build a juice factory. This is as done as it's ever going to get, so I can delete this line. I'll be a little careful. I'll actually pause while deleting this, because I might delete something I don't mean to. Maybe I should scroll in. That might make things a little safer. Can actually go at like an angle, and then I won't have to worry about it, because you can't delete these by... Oh my gosh. I don't have to worry about it. Immediately delete something that he doesn't want to delete. I'm hoping I didn't just like wreck a bunch of stuff by doing that, but it wouldn't surprise me if I did. Okay, delete that, delete that. Okay. So now I have plenty of space to begin building a juice farm. So, to build a juice farm, we need farms and we need kitchens. Let me place down a kitchen right now so we can figure out how I can actually build boats. So, I have actually not built boats yet. It could be something worth exploring, but it's for fishing right now. And if I look around, I don't even know if I have any fish in my starting area. I have rivers, but I don't see any fish. Oh, here are some. So if I really want to, there's fish way over here that I can harvest. Might be worth endeavoring into at some point. I know, what is it, like fish stew is worth a good amount of money. I think it's in the meat section. Yeah, but so is meat stew. And it's actually worth more than fish stew, and I think it might be easier to make, but I'd have to look at the crafting recipes. Okay, so let's plop down a kitchen and figure things out. So, to to make fruit juice, we need 2 fruit, and 3 seconds of time to make 1. If I plop down a farm and put it by, actually this will tell me if I change its recipe. So berry takes 2 seconds to harvest. So if I build 3 farms, that's 3 every 2 seconds, which comes out to 4.5 every 3 seconds, which is a surplus of half of a berry. Do I scale that up further? 3 farms. I build a 4th farm. 4 farms is 4 and 2. Turns out to be 6 and 3. So 4 farms can feed into 3 kitchens for maximum production, which is what I want to do. So I'm going to leave the kitchen for now. I'm gonna it's important to work backwards. I keep forgetting this. Let's build the kitchens like this. Plop them down. Before I get too far, I have enough money. Let's go and flatten the land, because you can't build. Gosh, because I built the kitchen already. Alright. You can't build farm tiles on land that isn't flat, so I make sure my land is flat. My life will be a lot easier. To the best of my understanding, there isn't a way to scale up your cursor to flatten better. I accidentally cut into the lake, but that's fine. I'm using up a lot of money, but there we go. Okay, so we've got some land to work with. You know what? I'm gonna go a step further. I'm gonna cut the grass, which never hear me say outside of this game, because I hate mowing the lawn. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, it's just, it sucks. Not therapeutic. But also I live in an apartment right now, so it's a non-issue. Okay. A little bump right there, I guess I'll fix. Otherwise, anyone with OCD watching will be very displeased. Okay. 3 kitchens. That's our baseline. Set them all to fruit juice. Now, of course, it isn't going to do us any good to have 3 kitchens if we can't both feed them constantly and draw from them constantly. We'll kind of have to watch the output assembly lines. I'm going to build a single line for now, but I am pretty confident that that is not going to be sufficient in taking everything out of these, so we might have to build a more comprehensive line. And this is going to be a permanent structure, so I want to make it look a little nicer. Of course, we're going to have to tinker for a while, so I might not end up with the most beautiful structure by the end of it, but for now. I'm going to use grabbers wherever possible because it'll allow me to keep my assembly line infrastructure smaller than it would otherwise have to be. And only at the cost of some red coins, which I've gone from having none to having 2,000 in a short period of time, which is a good thing, but a little shocking as well. Okay, so, farms. I need to build 4 farms. And I know from my other game that I can... I want to go about this. I only need a ring around my farms of two tiles to grow berries. That'll be enough that all of these farms will be able to consume from them and they won't use them all up. I'm also making sure to not supply my farms with water or fertilizer because I don't need that growing boost. I just need them to work as hard as they can. What can't I afford? I am out of fertilizer. Neat. Okay. I am going to change this to just fertilizer, so I'm literally building a farm of shit. Well, hold on, why is this backed up? That's why. Okay, so let me get this straight. This entire time, I have not been inputting any fertilizer in there. Neat. Okay. Cool. Alright, but I can at least get the berries going. Plant berries. Gotta keep an eye on my gold. I might have to make an effort to actually sell some things that are worth regular gold coins, which I think I can do relatively easily. Just need to, well, I've got all these berries over here, I guess I can do that. Because berries sell for, I think, 2 gold a piece. So if I just actually harvest and sell regular berries, or in this case, I guess I can just supersede my kitchens right now. Sell the berries directly. But I would rather consume the ones off of the land, since they'll be in the way otherwise. So, let's get some more people going. 5 of y'all. Put it all into this farm, or barn rather, because I'll still need some. Which means this might not actually be the best course of action, but it's not going to stop me from doing it. And then we will need an assembly line out of here, or a chute rather. That level, okay it is. Well, my berries had just grown, and I'll see them go whoosh. Okay, and then we'll put a silo there. The chute come down here. Can I actually go under this, or is there not enough space? I don't think there's enough space to go under. No, there isn't. I mean, I don't really need to. I guess I'd still have to turn either way. Good lord. Okay. Time is at 3:08. Okay, I need to make progress a little faster because I'm running out of time. Okay. So now, I should be able to see, or be able to quickly flesh this out, and then I will have berries coming in from way out yonder. Alright, silos. Boom. 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 I want you in the room. Yeah. Okay. I forgot to build a ramp here. Alright. Grabber 1, grabber 2. Gotta race the berries, get all the grabbers placed before the berries come, and then, okay, they're only worth 1 coin, but that's fine. We just need some money coming in right now. And at the end of the day, again, we'll be clearing out an area, frees up some workspace. It's valuable. Okay, so these are all grown. I have already immediately nearly restocked on fertilizer, so that's good. And now grow the rest of the berries. Ah yes, out of gold. Wonder if I'm actually going to hit a point where my town is saturated and cannot consume berries any faster. Please, please stop, we can't eat any more berries. That'd be pretty funny. Of course, actually like pushing all of my berries out of my shared inventory as a result of this. How much do I need? I need 5, I need 100 gold, so I guess once I have 100 gold I'll turn this off, plant my berries, and then turn it back on. Alright. Now I can finish planting, and I can turn it back on, and we'll actually be able to build. we actually have to harvest the berries. I can't just... It's not only money, you do need to actually have the item in the first place. Okay. Turn that back on. How are these guys doing real quick? Clearing out space just like I wanted. I gotta figure out what to do with this coal. It's just kind of there and in the way. It's all full. It's doing whatever. I might actually be at a point where I need to consider turning off my plank production because I'm filling up a lot of inventory slots. I want the trees gone. Okay. Anyway, so we have to somehow condense 4 of these down into 3. So I think what I am going to do, and I should have thought about this before building everything, because now I have to kind of feed a scaffolding to it. I want to probably use silos and siphon it in that way. Guess I'll put archways here on the off chance I need to feed a line under this, but I don't foresee that happening. Okay, so I could build a silo here, and a silo here. Helps if you're under the correct category. Silo. 1, 2, 3. Then can have each of these. So I need to kind of build a false priority because I don't know how these are going to feed naturally. Don't know why I did it like that. And what you can do to do that is using one of the logistics blocks called a pusher. A pusher will force an item in a direction if it can go that direction. What am I talking about? I should just use a splitter. Alright, I'm losing my mind. Okay. That's gonna... I'm running into space issues. Because I do need a grabber. I guess, let me place grabbers down and see if they sort themselves out naturally. Because right now, like this one immediately fills up. I guess we won't really see what happens until this silo is full, which is obviously going to take a while. But as you can see right here, all of these items are fighting to actually enter a conveyor belt. So I need to have multiple lines. I might even take 3 lines, I'm not exactly sure. Of course, this silo is in the way now, so that might cause some issues. And to alleviate that problem, I will use the free space that I have created fortuitously with a small amount of planning to redirect it to be right here instead. Okay. Alright, so that should work. I don't know if I actually need 3. Might be able to get away with less than that. I might only have to use 2, which I will, for the sake of aesthetics, separate, but don't really need to. I could just have them run adjacent to one another, but they won't look as nice that way. And that's a problem. Okay. So, I still need to have this whole setup. But then they will travel out slightly. Then I will use a splitter to split the output of the first one. I gotta figure out what to do with this, because this is going to cause some problems. Make some nice little support structures so everything actually stands. Okay. Alright. So now we'll have 2 conveyor belts. Anything coming from these sides ones will automatically feed down, but any of the ones in the center are going to need to, or are going to split. And I'm seeing that these ones are actually full. Well, that's probably part of it. Now they're facing the wrong direction, so they're going to have a hard time doing it. But we'll see if this works now. It's going to be a little jammed up right off the bat just because they have to finish feeding out the input that they currently have. But once they chew through their current output, we should start seeing a more natural assembly line process. I guess what I can do tentatively is I could build a 3rd line right here. I think we'll be okay. And of course, we've just skyrocketed as far as red coins are concerned, which is good. Now I can start building forestry-related things, but kind of out of regular coins. Okay, so this kitchen is full. These kitchens are not full, which means I need to do something about this priority right here. So these are automatically going into here. I need to make them not do that. I guess I'll keep the game running. How do I want to go about this? What if? So by default it goes to the right. This is going to be full for a while. I have a better idea. Do I have a better idea? I feel like I don't have a better idea. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. I'm gonna pause the game for this. These will both feed directly into this central hub. It will then feed out the middle. And I will make other lines that go this way. And then I will build a splitter. I think it's working. Currently, it's hard to tell. So I am kind of outpacing this one. This one's not producing at full capacity right now, but I think that will sort itself out. This one is overburdened because this silo is full. I think I am producing berries slightly faster than I'm using them, but I kinda need to anyway. It works. I'm not getting jams here, which is the important thing. I need to make sure that my output is constant. So I've got red coins going. Theoretically, I'm earning 2 red coins per second. So I need to take that into consideration when it does come to performing forestry-related tasks, because it's not like that's an amount that I can't exceed. I think, let me place down a forester real quick, and we can kind of see what I'm talking about with that. What did I do? So if I click on this, so it only takes 2 seconds to consume 1 red coin. So theoretically I could have 4 foresters harvesting wood. That's a pretty good amount. I mean, that's what, 2 wood per second. And you can't, there's a lot of things that they don't process it that quickly, but it's not like it's an amount that I'll never chew through. So later down the line, I can use more efficient resources to gather more red coins, but for now, we have a system that doesn't have a very large footprint. It's not too big, but it is producing a constant output. It's keeping people happy also. It's fulfilling their fruits and vegetables need. I'm going to end the stream pretty soon, but I think what we'll probably do tomorrow is delete some of these temporary lines, get this stuff just out of here. It's in the way, and we're gonna build a more extensive assembly line, and that assembly line will be used to make sandwiches, which sell for gold, which we don't have a lot of, we need more of. But it uses a lot of animal products, and as a result it requires a little bit more planning on how you get all of your animal feed made and delivered, and how you direct all of your goods. But it will also produce a surplus of manure, which will allow us to more easily move into forging and metalsmithing, because we can use that as a fuel. Granted, it might not be enough fuel to consistently run those systems, but we'll at least be able to run maybe like a small aspect of them. Because this is probably full by now. Yeah, these guys are just standing here, so I'll get rid of them. I'll keep the forge, because you need the forge to have the resources for the silo unlocked, or the recipe rather. I can stop having these guys do what they're doing, or better yet, I can have them keep doing what they're doing, but I will keep the resources instead of selling the resources, because I don't need the red coins. It's just a question of where I want to do that, because I don't really want to do it in my town. But it's probably going to be a while before I... Okay, I don't think these guys can get to the wheat anymore. Or can they? Are they just going through the trees? Alright, cool. I guess I'll... Oh no, they're trying to chop the wood down, I think. Oh well, keep doing that. It's fine if they're not working anymore. I see that all of my people who are making stone have just broken. They're all broken. Or rather, my assembly line is broken because I'm stupid. There, the truth comes out. Okay. So I need to make this 1 block lower. Actually, I did not need to modify this. This is fine the way it is. It's just that this needs to be brought down because it is higher than the silo can accept. Okay, grabber. There we go. Okay. So that could be in part why I am not actually getting any stone, because they weren't making it, they couldn't. Okay. So, what do I want to do with this? I guess for the time being, I will build a hub over here. I don't even know why I want to build it over there. I might as well build it over here, because it's where they're mining, to collect all this stuff. Delete. Trash all this. Delete the silos. I kind of need to delete this because I need to change the direction of it. I don't need to worry about throughput as much on this because I'm not in dire need of this. So I'll just have these all feed into each other. It'll be fine. You were a beautifully convoluted system while you lasted, but I no longer require your services. Poor little rock, last one of its kind, but he met the same fate as the others. He was deleted. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that's feeding this direction, which I believe is onto flat ground, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to build a ramp anyway. Again, like I was saying, I don't really care about throughput, so I'm not going to go ham on these stonemasons. I will just build 2 of them for the sake of having 2 of them. This needs to be a little taller because it looks like the ground does go up right there. Okay. Build the chute. Sure, that'll get the job done. Stone brick, and then my output. I want to have a relatively extensive amount of stone stockpiled, so this will be a little bit of a permanent fixture, but I'm going to kind of daisy chain some silos behind it. Silos. Losing my mind. Alright, there we go. Let's do it like this, actually. Do I want to do it like that? I feel like the answer is no. Okay, so conveyor belts. I need to back this up one space. Okay. So, have one there, and then one there. Okay, so this is all good at that point, and what, that's 900 on 1100 spaces worth of stuff. That'll work. You know what, I want to make this look a little more official even. I'm going hard with this one. Structural blocks. Road ramp doesn't work. I guess I can't build a nice ramp there. Fine, you win this time, game. I mean, I guess I could just build stone. It doesn't have to be flat. Okay. That does, though. Conveyor belts. The factories themselves probably will not be permanent, but this guy right here will be, because it's going to be holding my stone. Conveyor belt. And then what I can do is utilize an item called, actually, here's a real daisy chain. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. Beautiful. Okay. Alright, so now resources will come down, snake their way through all these silos automatically, and life will be good. And now, just because we can, let's build some stuff and make it pretty. First I gotta delete this wheat that's in my way. Move resource. Okay, build. I'll build a fence around it, but I want it to have like kind of some brick going on. I can't build all of it right now because I have to keep this going. Oh yeah, it might help if I actually finish the assembly line. Okay, so that's full. I was like, what? Oh, this is a problem. Why is it not going? But it's because that one's full. Okay, grabber, bam, 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 and bam. Okay, so that's doing what it's supposed to do, it's fine. Here. Guess what I actually can do? I can build the official piece here. Just have a conveyor belt go over it. And I won't be able to build a fence, but who cares? I'll leave the front exposed in case I do need to actually build from it. Wow, so beautiful, so majestic, an actual creation. Build a little thing here. I want a stone, either a wood bridge. I want a wood bridge, that's what I want. Wood bridge. Boom. Now, put some decor down. Some lamp posts. Oh my gosh, they actually produce light. So this is the first time I've built a lamp post. This fucking changes everything. Hello Marmy Maze, I see you in the chat. Holy shit, fucking lamp posts. Who knew lamp posts could produce light? Beautiful, okay. Well, I'm gonna throw down some more lampposts wherever, because I love lamp. And I think I'm gonna call it here, guys. It's been a nice low stress stream. I hope I have not, like, I haven't been as excited this time. I'm a little more tired, but had a good time nonetheless. And I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. I will see you all around next time.